you 10. I'll give you 10. Number one is you can do a lease option. Lease with an option to buy is one of the best ways for you to get into a property and have certain rights to improve the property a little bit at your own cost and liability. You add on the insurance that you'll do some work. The lease option is a great method to gain. I cannot tell you how many times I've used this successfully. I've used it for commercial, I've used it for residential. How about the other one we just talked about? Number two, it's straight option. Straight option. You have very little money? Hi, I'd like an option to buy your building. The person looks at you like you're crazy. Yeah, you have your property worth X. I'll give you so much money to have the right to purchase the property for so much more. Now, if you can get the option to buy it and just pay for an option and the property is deserted or empty or dilapidated, and you can also have the right to access it and improve it. I've done a deal like this on a property. It was a big building, totally vacant. And I gave them $100,000 non-refundable option to buy, closing in 18 months. And this was very good because they wanted to flip it. They had it under contract. And then they wanted to flip it to me with $500,000 profit for them. So I explained to them, I said, let me give you 100 option money. Let me have 12 to 18 months. And they said, why? Because if you assign it to me right away, your $500,000 will become 250 because it's an assignment. You're going to pay 50% taxes. They said, oh, you're an educator. You explain to us. I said, yes. But I also explain to you what's in it for me. I'll be able to get in and I'll be able to have time to improve it. Instead of giving you more money and go get a down payment and all this stuff, I can put the money in the building so it increases the value. So there were two guys. And the other guy said to me, what if you fix it and do all this work and then you don't buy it? I said, I'm going to put in writing that if I don't buy it within the 12 to 18 months, you keep all the work and the option $100,000 that I'll give you. So he said out loud, wow, I hope you don't buy it. Slip of the tongue. He wishes me ill, but it's all right. When you have love for something and you meet hatred, the only answer is more love. Like Martin Luther King said, love is the only power that can turn an enemy into a friend. He wasn't an enemy, he's looking for his own good, so I said, fine. I gave him the $100,000 as option, took the rest of the money I had and I improved the building. The building increased in value because of the money I put in, and I was able to get the loan the way I wanted and cash them out. It was a beautiful deal all the way around. By the way, I told them 12 to 18 months. They said, but why 18 months? I said, because they only need 1 year. So they don't pay so much tax. So they're holding it, so the tax is lower because it's a year, etc. The funny thing is, I told them 12 to 18, but guess how long I stayed? I stayed 17 months. We closed on the 18th month because I needed all the time to finish all the work and get the loan I wanted, etc. But it still worked as a win-win. So lease option, straight option, and maybe hopefully you can get access and improve the property. Third one, get a partner. Get a partner. If you get a good deal, look, like the JV partnership, you're getting a good deal, you're lining up the tenant, I'm giving you the training so we can both succeed. You call me, you assign it to me, so we're partners. You don't want to call me, you can use the seller of the owner of the building, and you can tell the owner of the building, I got a tenant lined up, let me become 50% partner with you, I'm going to add value to the building, or maybe give me 20% ownership. So you're starting with nothing down, but you're bringing something to the table. What do you bring to the table? So get a partner. Number 4, build your credit, like we talked about credit earlier, and then get a cash advance, and that's the money you use. And then start with small properties like in Ohio or Michigan or somewhere. Number 5, learn wholesaling. Wholesaling are those people that actually send the mailers to people, hey, somebody died in the family, you have a problem, you have this, you're dying, you're this, and then they find a desperate person, or somebody doesn't know the value of their property, or maybe they don't care, they just want out. They lock in the deal under contract for so much, they get a list of cash buyers, and they tell them, I got this property, and you have a built-in profit 10 to 15,000. You can do wholesaling. It's not so difficult. You just have to spend a lot of money on marketing. Really, your cost is marketing. Number 6, get a loan and offer the seller carry back. So the seller is selling for, let's say, 100,000. And you ask him, how much do you owe? And the guy says, I owe 60,000. Tell him, listen, I'm willing to give you the whole 100,000. I'm going to go get a loan, but the bank will only give me, let's say, 65,000. So you get a $65,000 loan to buy the property, and the seller carries the $35,000 difference. What's in it for the seller? He cashed out $65,000. He's got a second lien at $35,000 with a decent interest rate. You're probably going to have to pay them 8-9% interest. Now, not all lenders will allow you to have a seller carry back. So it's important to see which lender will do it, probably maybe a hard money lender or something. But the key thing is, the beauty is you're going to get access to the property, and if it has an opportunity to improve it and flip it, which is what you should be doing in your early days, do assignments and flips to build your cash reserves, this will be a good way to do it. Getting a loan and doing having the seller carry back. Do a wraparound mortgage. What does that mean? Let's say the person says, you go to that person that has a $100,000 home and owes, I don't know, $60,000. You can go to him and say, let's do a wraparound mortgage. That means a wrap around. You're wrapping. So the selling price is $100,000. Okay? The owner has $60,000 loan, $40,000 equity. Everybody with me on this? Can you see me? I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, you can do what's called a wraparound. So you owe the person, you wrap all this, and you're making a payment on $100,000. So you're making them a payment of, let's say, $1,000 a month. Let's just say that's your payment. So the payment goes to pay off the loan, pay down the loan, and give him a return on his equity. That's called a wraparound mortgage. I bought properties like this and I sold properties like that. That's called a wraparound. So that's another way. So I repeat, lease with an option to buy, straight option, get a partner, build credit and get cash advances to get into the deal, learn wholesaling and do the wholesaling, get a loan and do a seller and have the seller carry back, do a wraparound mortgage. That's 7 ways. Number 8, offer extra collaterals. When I was growing in my early years, I would go buy a property and tell the seller, I know you want $300,000 down payment. All I have is $150, but if you carry $150, I'll give you an extra collateral with this other duplex that I own, and I have equity here. So there will be the equity of your home and this equity of my other property. So you sign an escrow, an extra form that says, this loan is cross-collateralized by this property that I'm buying and the other property that I already own. Beautiful to do the extra collateral. That's number 8. Number 9, you can offer sweat equity. I remember this person came to me, he said, I can bring this, I can do that, I can do this. And I said, okay, good. You want a partner, you're gonna do all this work? Great. Sweat equity is your knowledge into the deal, your hard work into the deal. How do you think brokers get paid? Brokers are doing sweat equity with knowledge of how to, and they have a license, okay? It's because they're performing a service for somebody else. And then number 10, partner with contractors. I'm actually amazed how come contractors that do some of these properties don't know how to grow to the next level. It comes with a lot of risk and liability and all this, but you can come in and say, I have the money, let me give you a percentage of the profits. That's how I work with contractors. And many of them says, okay, I prefer to work, with a percentage of the profit. And then this way they're faster, they're more focused, and everybody wins. So I repeat, the 10, lease with an option to buy, straight option, and then you have access to the property, get a partner, build credit and get a cash advance on your own credit to do the deals, learn wholesaling and wholesale a property or 2, get a loan and have the seller carry back, do a wraparound mortgage, offer extra collateral, offer sweat equity, or partner with a contractor. There are 10 ways to get you going, and the market overall is not that important. What's important is what is that deal gonna bring for you in that market.